have the gene. Lizzie has a bad copy of the FBN1 gene, and Lizzie is the only one in the family that has it. The condition that has been associated with this gene is Marfan syndrome. Marfan syndrome affects three systems. It affects the eyes, it affects the heart, and it affects the bones. But Lizzie has one additional feature, which is the inability to gain weight, and that is called lipodystrophy. And what it means is a reduction in fat. So Lizzie has these two things, and this thing has been called neonatal progeroid syndrome. I'm going to give you guys some reports because these 4 or 5 other people have been described in the literature with mutations in the same region of FBN1, and that is actually the critical part here. They look like Lizzie, they're mutations in the same region of FBN1, to where I feel very confident that this is what is causing Lizzie's condition. So what Lizzie has is a combination. But I want you to take home this message that she has Marfan syndrome.
Okay.
Because it means we have some implications. So what we'll be doing is getting Lizzie to see a cardiologist.
Okay.
She would need to get imaging of her heart. And what we'll be looking at there is the aorta. That's the blood vessel, the big blood vessel that arises from the top of the heart and supplies blood to the rest of the body. There can be problems with rupture.
What would happen if it ruptured?
That would be a bad thing. You would need immediate surgery, and it can oftentimes be fatal before patients get to the hospital because it's a very serious condition.
Are there signs of it, of like...
Usually, by the time you're having signs of aortic dilatation, it's late.
Too late.
It's late in the process.
There's still a possibility that...
But the good thing is
worst case scenario that would happen.
They usually do medication to help make sure it
stays. To help stabilize it?
Yeah.
So what we can do is try to reduce some of your blood pressure, prevent the progression of the enlargement. Okay?
Is Lizzie the oldest person that you know of?
I think where you're going with this is life expectancy. This is a relatively unique condition, so I can't say anything with absolute certainty. But as long as we keep a close eye on dilatation of the aorta, life expectancy would be expected to be normal. Does that answer your question? Okay.
For so long, I just let her deal with it.
Right.
And now that I know, I want to be more involved in the results of things.
I think it was me pushing her to all these doctors and testing and all that other stuff, because I always thought it was my fault.
It wasn't. How could you guys control any of it? How could anybody control any of it? It's a random process. None of us are in control of the genes that we pass along. And in your case, you didn't even pass on this
I didn't know that.
This copy.
Does that make you feel relieved?
Yeah.
I never knew you thought that.
All of us are prisoners of the genes that we've inherited and the genes that we have. And your mutation makes you unique.
Let's just call it my difference.
We can call it that.
Okay. It kind of makes me feel good. Like, I was really, really meant to have it because y'all didn't give it to me. Thank you so much for everything. I really appreciate it even when I wasn't nice.
You were always nice. Thank you so
My
much.
dad has always told me, when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. And so then I'm just going to hope that my heart is as strong as I think it is. I want my heart to be strong, faithful, and I want it to be brave.